Hello. Today's letter comes to us from Riddler, who writes, Dear Brother Ron, why do most people see Fred Phelps as such a scumbag? I think the reason this country is going to hell is because no one believes in the Bible anymore. What's more, they're allowing and encouraging homosexuality almost everywhere you look nowadays, even when the Bible clearly states that homosexuality is not okay. Newsflash, people, the Bible is not just take what thou wilt and leave the rest behind. You eat the whole pill. I would just like to say to Fred Phelps, you're a wonderful role model and someone who has enough of a spine to hold on to your beliefs even when everyone else disagrees with you. He's preaching God's message loud and clear. This society has blinded many into believing that being gay is okay. This man is a hero, not a scumbag. He stands up for those who are too weak and feeble to do so. Who else would be able to carry a message like that even when everyone around him attacks him? That's the true mark of a Christian. As Christians, we should know that we will be sent through extreme persecution in life and not to be discouraged because it's God's way of showing us we're on the path. Fred Phelps, thank you for restoring America's faith in God. God is setting a special table for you up in heaven, buddy. Well, dear Riddler, your fear and hatred have overpowered your reasoning. First of all, God does not hate any of his children. He knew what we were going to do and what we were going to be before he sent us here. How can he hate us for doing what he sent us here to do? This type of thinking only works if God has no plan and no clue what will happen next. It only works if his only plan is to throw them up against the wall and see who sticks. I do not worship a blind or clueless God. Obviously, Fred and his gang do. They do not worship the loving Father that Jesus told us about. They worship the God of vengeance and hatred. They should join Al-Qaeda. They would feel right at home. If you want to worship a blind, clueless God of fear and hatred, maybe you should too. Now you talk about accepting the whole Bible. Okay, let's start with how Jesus told us how to know who was a real Christian and who was just faking it. John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. John 15:10. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. And what were his commandments? We find the answer in Matthew 22:37 through 40. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Now you might argue that homosexuals are not your neighbors. Jesus disagrees. Matthew 5:43. You have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which spitefully use you, and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans do the same? And we also find in Acts 10:28, and he said unto them, You know how it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or even come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. It would seem that Fred and his gang are the ones who are guilty of, as you put it, take what thou wilt and leave the rest behind. Thank you for joining us.